Yes, party people, welcome to Groove Conversations with your man Martin G. I hope you're all keeping well, enjoying the sun. Well, over here in England, it's sunny at the moment. The sun is shining. But you know what? British summertime, it can lure you into a false sense of security. You get a little bit of sun, you start feeling good, stepping out, got your shorts on, looking nice and fly. But then before you know it, the rain comes down and just totally soggies up your parade. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Rain or shine, I'm fine, I do my thing, it's all good. So you know what? If you're liking what you're seeing and what you're hearing, smash a like, share, subscribe, get on down with Groove Conversations with your man Martin G, because you know what? It's all about big things, you know, and that's how we're getting down. So, what's this video all about? So today I present to you the Ultimate Break to the Beat Volume 2. And this one's called the Green Grass of Flavour. Why have I called it the Green Grass of Flavour? Well, I'm sure when you've seen the thumbnail, you probably have an idea of why I've called it that. But listen, let me tell you what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about two people. The first person I'm going to talk about is this gentleman, Tom Jones, or Sir Tom Jones as he's known as now. Now listen, some of you younger viewers may know him as being the judge on The Voice UK, but listen, there's a lot more to Tom Jones than just that. A very well accomplished singer. He's paid his dues. He knows his thing. Man can sing. And listen, he's known for tracks such as What's New Pussycat, Delilah, It's Not Unusual, and he also sings Thunderball, if I remember rightly, the James Bond. He also sings that as well, I think. Anyway, moving on, but there's a lot more to Tom Jones than what you just know, than what I've just told you. Now, he can get quite funky as well. So listen, I'm going to talk to you about this track of his. This track is called Looking Out My Window. Now, this is a track that came out, I think this came out in 1969 or 1970. I am not sure. I'll check that out and I'll let you know. But listen, produced by Keith Mansfield. Keith Mansfield, he is a legendary producer known on the library music, known for his library music. There's a soundtrack that he's done for a 1970 film called Loot that came out, that was based on a play by Joe Orton. And listen, Keith Mansfield, he's done TV themes like BBC TV themes as well. But look, this is one funky record, funky as funk, yeah? Now listen, let me play you a little piece of this, have a little check out of this, see what you think.
Looking out my window, looking at the rain, nothing left but sorrow, nothing left but pain. What's it gonna leave me sad, alone and blue? Looking out my window, woman, trying to find you. Why did you leave me? Why did you grieve me?
Right, so I think you're with me on that. It has got some flavour to it. So, with that, now in the middle of that track, there is a little breakdown, or break, as we hip-hop heads will say, that comes in. Have a little listen to the break, and I'll tell you some more.
Why did you leave me? Why did you grieve me?
Right, so you hear that break. Now, so I'm going to talk to you about 3 tracks that sample that little break. And the way they use them, they all use them slightly differently. So let's talk about this. So the first one I'm going to go on to is this. This is Stasonic, their first album called On Fire. This came out in 1986. Stasonic, the original hip-hop band, comprised of 6 brothers from Brooklyn. So those guys are Wise, Fruitquan, Delight, Daddy-O, and DJ Prince Paul. Prince Paul, if you don't know who Prince Paul is, he's the producer behind 3 Feet High and Rising, the first 3 albums by De La Soul, and he's done other stuff as well, such as Handsome Boy Modelling School and Prince Amongst Thieves, just to name a few, but well established artist he is. But anyway, this album come out in 1986 on the Tommy Boy label. Now, there's a few good tracks on this album, such as Just Say Step, Rock Dilla Step, Forever My Beat, Bust That Groove, and the title track, On Fire. But I want to talk about one particular track on here, which is the first track on side 2, which is Go Steps Up, part 1. Have a little listen to this, and we'll go a little bit more into it.
For the awesome and rare, the real, the right, and dynamite is in the atmosphere. As there's a time and place for everything that's under the sun. This is the time and the place that we have some fun. Now take a sec to check the pedigree of the band that's spelled S-T-E-T. The rhymer-rater, the like, the R-O-D, and on the keys, my brother, DBC, Rob Quan, and my DJ Paul. We're putting competition back up against the back of the wall. Me and the band that I just mentioned present to you our new invention. We regulate our steps up. So deaf, but listen to the structure. Formulate your own, but please don't touch her. You're looking out and we thank you very much. I need this style on the course, will nut ya. Right to the end, I bet we'll push you out. And you bump into a force that creeps. Slowly but surely enough will defeat you.
So, you hear how they sampled that beat. Now, the way they sampled it is you hear the beat coming in, and with Stasonic, they used to have a live drummer with them who'd sort of like replay the break as well for them when they were like performing live on stage, and in the like that's what they would do. But you hear the way that they use that break. They bring in a little bit of Magic Disco Machine as well, scratch those horns up on there as well. But listen, this is the first track that I know that sampled that beat. That's the first track that I know. And legend has it that when that track used to come on in certain clubs back in the days, when that track used to come on, a lot of badness would go on. Some tracks, some people would go out and start snatching chains off people on the dance floor. But you know what? That's just what I've heard. That's what legend has it. But listen, that track, Go Steps Up, it's a banging track anyway, that is. So that's that track, Stasonic, Go Steps Up, that samples Looking Out My Window, the first track that I can tell you about. Moving on. So the next track I'm going to tell you about, which uses Looking Out My Window, is this one here, Cool C with Juice Crew Disc. This track came out 1987. Now, Cool C was an artist from Philadelphia, and this was the first track that I know of that he came out with. In fact, I think this was his first track. Have a little listen to it and see how they use that Tom Jones sample. Check it out.
You a Shanti, I know you got to start. Right here in Philly, all pop art. What I'm saying is true. You just illin'. Label to label, with the coat chillin'. I'm standing here telling you the deal. And I'm gonna buy what my heart feels. Yeah, ice is what I'm serving. Listen to the rhyme, cause it's self-deserving. Come to the show, bringing all my boys. So Juice Crew, won't you kill that noise? I'm rocking all boys and I'm dissing Juice. The Juice Crew did, so I gotta get loose.
So as you can hear, all they just do with that is just use just the start of it, and just the stab at the start of the break. That's all they do. Just bring that in a little bit. That's all they do. Nothing fancy with it, but it's just another way that you can use that sample, that sample was used. Now, the artist himself, Cool C, now like I said, this was his first track that he come out, and I just think that this track itself, Juice Crew This, was him going in, trying to put his little bit in to do with the Queensbridge Bronx battle that was going on back then, which was the Juice Crew, or shall I say MC Shan, up against Boogie Down Productions, which was Karis One and DJ Scotland Rock at the time. But the track itself, it's an alright track. It's nothing too special, but back in the days, you'd buy it, you know what I mean? So anyway, that's this track, Cool C, Juice Crew This. So the third and final track that I'm going to go on to, that samples Looking Out My Window by Tom Jones. Now, listen, I've talked about this album before, I've talked about this artist before, but listen, it's this. So I'm going to present you Cool G Rap, Wanted Dead or Alive. Now, I've presented this album on a vinyl tag that I've done. Now, the reason why is because I love this artist. Of my top 5 MCs, this man sits on the top. And I'm sure people may not agree with that, but that's just my personal opinion. Now, anyone will tell you, now this is Cool G Rap's second album. Now, anyone will tell you that there's a lot of great tracks on this album. Tracks such as Streets of New York, the title track Wanted Dead or Alive, Money in the Bank, Cool Is Back, Erase Racism as well. Great tracks. Death Wish as well, another track. But listen, I'm going to talk about the fourth track on side 1, which is Bad to the Bone. Produced by Cool G Rap and Large Professor, that track was. Large Professor, who was 1/3 of the legendary group Main Source. I'll talk about that another day. That's another video, that is. But listen, that track, Bad to the Bone, have a little listen to it and check out how they use Looking Out My Window on that.
Not to mention a winner of Mac Daddy conventions. I get a lot of attention. Sleeping in sheets is made of satin. When one of my money making honeys, she makes Spanish and Latin. She's a fly type of swinger. 20 carats on her fingers, makes on every coat hanger. In a hollow rise made for only fly guys. With a size that attracts the ladies' eyes. Keeping the stash in a cash flow. Profiles kept low, more dough than Barry Manilow. Fly cars, I got diamonds and jelly jars to earn respect. Collecting bar fight scars. Slick talking with a chick when I'm walking. Midnight stalking, all the suckers be hawking. And I'm asked why you been waxing your Cadillacs. Smooth as stacks, but I can cut you like an axe. Big spinner, cause I'm a winner like Bruce Jenner. I burn all beginners, I let them simmer like a TV dinner. On the phone, cause I'm hard like stone. Home on my own, cause I'm bad to the bone.
Now, if you hear the track itself, if you know the track it's like that sample itself only gets brought in during the choruses, and there's a little bit in the third verse where you hear it, but they just bring it in, just kind of like understated. It's not the main prominent sample in the tune, but it just bring it in, just sort of like a little undertone kind of bedding kind of thing, you know, and it just sounds nice the way he uses it, man. Just sounds nice. And the track itself, listen, you've heard that little like snippet of the track that I've just played. Cool G Rap's a genius. That's why he's called the Cool Genius of Rap. That's what it is, man. He is a genius when it comes to his like wordplay, his flow, syncopation, cadence. He's got it going on without a shadow of a doubt. And you know, that track, banging album, Wanted Dead or Alive. If you don't know about that album, you need to go and check that album. So that's the third track that uses Looking Out My Window by Tom Jones. Right, so the last one I'm going to do is just more of an honorary mention that I'm going to do. Yeah, so this one now, I'm going to talk about this person. Shirley Bassey, or Dame Shirley Bassey, shall I say. So, now with this, now obviously we know her. We know her for many of songs that she's done. She's done some James Bond themes as well, such as Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever. So many tracks that she's done. She is a legend when it comes to the singing. Now, this album itself has got a few things on here. Her version of Spinning Wheel and Killing Me Softly. But the track I'm going to talk about is her version of that, Light My Fire. Have a little listen to it. Check it out. Right, okay, so, Light My Fire, that version of Light My Fire. Now, Light My Fire is one of them songs. Now, I've told you before in many a video, I'm a sucker for a cover version. Now, Light My Fire, for some reason, if I see any version of that, I just buy it, because I do love the song. I mean, obviously, the original version is a very good song, but there's so many different versions of that song that is so good. One version that I could tell you about is the Brian Auger, Judy Driscoll version of Light My Fire. Great version that is, but I'll be for another video. But anyway, the music in that version is from this. Johnny Harris, another one of those artists that is musicians that's known for some of these library music work as well. But listen, this is a great album as well, but this is the music. You buy this album and you'll get the instrumental version, but I'm talking about the vocal version done by this lady. So that's the music that we're talking about. And the track that I'm talking about that samples it is from this album. This is Peanut Butter Wolf. My Vinyl Weighs a Ton. This album came out in 2001. Now, if you see any footage or anything about Peanut Butter Wolf, there's no joke when he says that My Vinyl Weighs a Ton, because he's got a phenomenal record collection. Now, this is on the Stone Throw label. Now, the track that I'm talking about is the last track on the second wax of side B, or side D, shall I say. That track there called Mobbing, that features Persevere and Vin Rock. Have a little listen to it. Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. This here, on the road to life, you know what I'm saying? Too many spectators, man, peep it out. Lyrically in tune at my utmost, severe like cutthroat, fucking boss reckless, raw with no protection, that dominant able. A-wall robbing your cradle, raping your adolescent mind, at that well-defined, on this highway to hellbound, Xing while you spellbound, but on a stagnant plane, all talk with no brain, see I'm past that, fitting your expectations, thoroughly spit, for a brainwash nation, with the nuts to confront, myself saw hands, so with my rarely get bucks, out the crooked past length, see I'm all for the spite of productive life, making this way dark to light, well on this road some life, and that's love.
So as you can hear, all he takes is the horns, just takes that little bit of horn, just takes it nice and simple, keeps it a bit raw, puts a little bass line underneath it as well. Listen, just nice and simple. And you know, some people will look at it or listen to it and just say, listen man, he's just taking the sample and not done anything special with it. But you know what? For just a lover of hip-hop music like me, I love that raw sample sound. I love that. It's the closest sound that you get to like that 2 turntables and a microphone sound. That sound of like when the DJs back in the days were like just looping the break in the park with the turntables. It's just the closest that you get. I love that sound. But listen, that track itself, I mean, that's a track I play out fairly regularly. It comes out with me when I do my thing, my little 12 inches of pleasure night down in Bournemouth, you know, last Friday of the month, you know. So, listen, that's a good track. You can't go wrong with that. So, that is that one. Mobbing by Peanut Butter Wolf on the album My Vinyl Weighs a Ton. If you don't know about it, you need to check it out. So there it is. That is the Ultimate Break to the Beat, Volume 2, the Green Grass of Flavour. Please tell me what you think about it, about the tracks that you've heard in the comments. Do you know about those tracks? Do you like those tracks? With that sample looking out my window, do you know of any other tracks that sample that? Please share it in the comment. If you're going to go out and buy some of those tracks, please let me know what you think. And again, if you haven't done it yet, click like, share, subscribe, get on down with Groove Conversations with your man Martin G. So with that, until next time, I hope you guys stay safe, look after yourself. So until then, I wish you peace and one love, and I'll see you on the other side. See ya!